Sagan.
When building a deck, the first thing you're going to need to do is figure out where you're going to do it, and then take away the siding off the house. And this is so you could take your main board that's going to be put onto your house. You're going to lag bolt it into the house. And after you get that board secured, then you can go ahead and put your siding back up. I would do it at this time after that board is placed there, so then you won't have the deck all there in your way. I get asked all the time how I do this by myself. I take 2x4s and I put them at an angle like they are now, and then I can take the board and place it on top of it, and it holds it in place. And then I can go ahead and level it and go ahead and pre-screw my screw holes and then put in the lag bolts. Ends up working pretty easy this way. So I just like working alone. Normally when I have other people help me, it usually takes me longer. Then after you get that board on, before you put the siding up, you want to put your drip edge on there. And before I put the lag bolts in, I also pre-drilled the holes. And I used an impact. If you don't have one, you just screw it in. And the next part of the job is digging the holes to put your concrete forms in.
Next thing you're going to need is to figure out where you're going to put your post to hold the outer part of the deck. Once you do that, you need to dig down lower than the frost line. Here in Iowa, in my area, it's 40 inches, so I went ahead and dug down and put concrete down in there, and then came back and put these little connectors. Then we're going to build those up, and then the deck's going to build across. Got the main perimeter of the deck up now. How I did it is I just put this up here to hold it in place, and it held right here and held right here, and I marked it, put it back down. I did it to the other side, and then I put this board up first, screwed it, and then went over and screwed it, and it actually stood by itself. And the reason why I did it this way is so I could get this into these little braces. And now I'm just going to run the rest of the trusses across there. After I got the trusses up, I went ahead and put another board here, just because over time it'll start sagging from the trusses and the weight. And then put these across it. And what I'm doing is, I also like these little spaces here, so what I'm doing is taking a pencil and I'm using it as a spacer to give it a little guide. And I already got the railings in the truck and the stairs. I still haven't decided if I'm going to put the stairs down this way or down that way. It'll probably be more likely this way. Guys, I decided to make a little base for the bottom of the steps to set on, so that's what I'm doing now. And the concrete, I'm just using these bags of concrete mix, and I'm mixing it in a bucket. I used to mix it in a wheelbarrow, but I loaned it out a while back and never got it back. And that's also how I did the concrete forms here. While I have my concrete down there curing, I'm going to go ahead and make the railings. I'm just going to use 2x4 for the railings and these things. It's a rental, so I'm not going to put in anything super nice looking, but it'll still come out really nice looking. I was one board short, so I'll come back later and put that in. I'm going to go do my post. Is I went ahead and measured a board from that post to that post. I'm going to do 2 of them, and then I went ahead and marked every 4 inches. You can do however you like, and then I'm going to screw those to that, and then I'm going to put the top board and screw it in the top, and then I'm going to put the whole piece up in there. Got most of the sides up, and that's how the boss supervises up there. For the steps, I just got the step boards put them together. I used 3 of them since I wanted them pretty wide. This is an apartment, so you're gonna have constantly, you know, probably once a year, maybe every other year, you're gonna have a tenant leaving, and they're gonna be bringing their furniture and all that stuff out. So I try to get extra wide doors and extra wide steps if I'm gonna put them in. Anyways, I just went ahead and used thick decking, and then I put railings like this. Again, nothing too fancy, but, and then I'm just putting them on, and I'm cutting them to size. So I'm gonna keep on putting them here. And then we're gonna have, this deck will be done after this. I'll be putting also, you know, another piece right there. Got all the boards, and to cut the angles on this when I'm putting them in, so I use a chop saw. I go ahead and got me the angle I needed, and then I go in and I'm actually marking each one individually and then kind of over and cutting it. I like using my tailgate as a working table.